I'm Teresa. I head up the growth partnerships team in TikTok. And today I'll be bringing some of the insights that we usually offer to our brands and business partners to you here. We've heard a lot about the big opportunities that is Southeast Asia. And I'm here to also emphasize even further on that. Our neighbors in Southeast Asia is actually seeing a continued growth in retail in the past few years. And at TikTok, we believe that this number will still continue to grow even further in the next few years as well. And the reason for that is really the fact that first, we are seeing GDP and disposable income in Southeast Asia continue to grow. And consumer confidence also keeps growing, and they're at a pretty high level post pandemic. So people are willing to spend and they have the means to spend. When we unpack even further, we look at online and offline retail. Not surprising, online retail is actually growing at a lot of faster pace than offline retail. And that just brings about a lot of opportunities because now there's deglobalization. Everything is a lot closer than we think. And this goes across multiple categories, not just your necessities, but also non-essentials. So maybe some of you might be familiar with some of the latest trends in the retail industries, which is my personal favorite is blind box, non-essentials, but people are looking for it all across the globe. And this blind boxes is a good example of how online retail actually pamper our customers to be wanting something at any point of time, anywhere. So for example, if I'm looking for a specific series, I might not find it in a physical store because they are coming from China or from Thailand, but I can buy it online and I can buy it right away. And that is what is so powerful about online retail because it helps people to get what they want at any time and anywhere. Again, not surprising, we are seeing this drives growth in terms of the number of online shopper and also the spending per shopper. So they are buying more and there's more people that's purchasing online. So where are all this growth going towards? We are capturing some of the growth on TikTok Shop. If you're not familiar yet, in TikTok now, you can actually not just browse, discover new products, but you can also purchase. And we are very proud to share that we are now number 2 in Southeast Asia when it comes to e-commerce market share. And as you see it in the graph, the growth doesn't stop there. In fact, we're expecting stronger growth year over year. And the reason for that is also gives us a bit of understanding about how human behavior has changed. Nowadays, people don't want to get sold with hard selling tactics. They want something that is entertaining. And that's where TikTok comes in. We have a full funnel platform that covers everything from entertainment content, like short videos, all the way to driving consideration with our creator communities, all the way to purchase. So you can purchase every product on TikTok in a very simple way. And that brings me to the next point, which is how then we capture these customers that are buying online. How do we do our marketing? One way to look at it is from where the customers are now. Maybe 10, 20 years ago, TV would be one of the biggest channels when it comes to marketing. But more and more, especially for those of you who live in Singapore, we see that when you go out, people are just glued to their phones. They are stuck with their different screens everywhere. So not surprising, again, there's a shift of media consumption and attention from TV or offline to digital channel. And where this digital channel is, majority is basically mobile because people have their phones everywhere and there's so many things that you can do on phone. And within this mobile landscape, there are multiple platforms. You might use your phone to book a taxi to get here, or you might watch some movies, watch some short videos. So overall, we see that in Southeast Asia, there's about 3 to 4 hours spent on mobile every day. And out of that 3 to 4 hours, we see that actually about 100 plus minutes per day is spent on TikTok. If you have not seen the app, I highly recommend to check it out because personally, I do think it's very addictive. And that is why the number speaks for itself. We are seeing more and more users actually come to our platform to enjoy the personalized content that we offer. And this is the same across all APAC or even Southeast Asia. And all these users, they are a very loyal users. So a lot of them are those that you cannot find in other platforms. So with this data points, we've actually tried to understand a bit more on how these different users react in different countries, how they are very unique in the different markets in Southeast Asia. And what we see is each market's consumer actually behave very differently. So if you look at, let's say, Philippines or Indonesia or Vietnam, these are markets that love promotion. So like free gift, one for one, these are big in the market. Well, for Singapore, we have a bit more purchasing power here. Disposable income is a bit higher. They love a bit more of like those free gifts or mix and match or bundling. So these are just some insights that we have into the customer's mind these days. And now that we know some of the promo tactics, how do we then strategize and drive the message across? Because nowadays, people's attention span is really short. They are watching videos, and when they watch short videos, that is probably 5 to 30 seconds per video, and then they're bored, and then they'll scroll through. So how do we then cut through in this day and age where people watch 300 plus videos every single day? Your brand cannot be just one of the 300 or 2,000 in a week, right? What we want to create something that does not just reach user, but create content that is relevant. So in order to do this, we've brought out some of the key content categories that are very popular on the platform. So some latest trends in Southeast Asia, especially, is actually in comics, anime, and cartoons. This is actually the fastest growing across all of the markets in Southeast Asia. So that can give you a bit of idea on how you can create content. Maybe it could be a collaboration with an anime, or it could be fashion, where perhaps you can inject your product in a mix and match fashion OOTD content. And other than that, we talk about the 300 videos just now. Other than having a quality creative that breaks through the noise, how do we also drive quantity? Because you want to be seen and heard multiple times in a week, not just once, in order to build that awareness and consideration. So these are some of the insights that we have that works the best when it comes to creative quantity. For example, for beauty, we see that 7 videos per day. What's the best practice for the industry? If you're in media and entertainment, you might need a bit more at 52 videos per day. But don't be afraid yet, because I know this can sound very scary. That is 200 videos in a month, right? There are tools out there that would be able to help you to drive that quantity of creatives. And if you are looking for such tools, we do offer that as well, free of charge on the platform. Do check it out. We have our Symphony, which basically marry your human creativity with AI efficiency. What it does is not just, we don't want to replace human. This is how we can complement your human creativity and get them to go further, to get your content longer and reduce your fatigue of creative. So I've brought some examples here of how AI can help you create more creative quantity. So it could be like this example here, where we remix different videos into one, cut different videos in a more automated way, and generate hundreds of different video permutations. You might also see this lady over here. So she is actually an avatar. So you can mix this avatar with your creator or user content. Or we can also use AI to actually translate one content into different languages for your market expansion. So this here is our colleague from TikTok. He's Singaporean. He can only speak English, but here he will speak in another language through AI dubbing. So there are more of such solutions available for you. These are just some of the examples. So there are ways to make it less painful to create creative quantity. Next, now that we have all these content strategies and we understand the challenges, how do we then target in a more predictable manner? Again, at TikTok, we do offer some advertising and paid media solutions, and we do see that this actually drives a more predictable outcome with a strong ROI at 2x ROI against all other media average based on our media mix modeling with Nielsen. And this is also powered again by our in-house machine learning that helps to optimize your campaign on your behalf automatically. And last but not least, I'll leave you with this new advertiser incentive. If you're interested, do let us know. You are eligible as long as you have a Southeast Asia entity and haven't spent in TikTok yet. And other than that, you can also stack this with World First card with a 1.2% rebate from World First. So lastly, we have some QR here. So if you're interested, you can feel free to scan the QR code and we'll reach out to you. Otherwise, me and my colleague Jess over here will also be around for the next few minutes. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Widodo.